Hi, I'm Lise Colucci. I'm one of the life coaches at Queen Being. I am here to offer you live video coaching as you recover from narcissistic abuse. Hello to anyone here. This is kind of impromptu coming on at the last minute thing, but I wanted to talk about Hoovers. I had some questions about Hoovers and getting pulled back in and ruminating on the trauma after you have been with a narcissist and have gone through a discard. So one thing to remember with Hoovers is that the narcissist has many faces and they have an incredibly duplicitous nature. And hello, Alicia, good evening. They are only going to show you the face they need to be seen in order to get what they want. So pretty much anything that's going on is them, hello, Jessica, is a narcissist trying to get their way, okay? So when you experience something in a Hoover, like an apology maybe, or kindness, or friendliness, or love bombing, or seeming like maybe they even admit everything that they did wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Some of them will do that. That's nothing more than them trying to get their way, okay? And in the moment, who knows? They may feel like, they may believe what they're saying. I don't know. Who knows what they believe? It really doesn't matter. What matters is what happens next. What happens next is always them. It can be a matter of hours, minutes, it can be days, it can be weeks, sometimes months, but usually not that long. Not when it's a Hoover and not when there's been a discard, usually not. That what happens is the other shoe drops and they put on their other mask, which is the one that you know and don't love and can't live with, right? So remember that any attempt at kindness, any attempt that they show you of seeming to understand your point of view, any attempt that they have they could say the perfect words, and they usually do. They usually know exactly what it is you need to hear, which only proves they knew exactly what you needed to hear all along, and they didn't want to say it, okay? And any attempt at any of that stuff is nothing more than a mask that they're wearing to show you, or to lure you back, really, to get you to believe them. And they are going to tell you what you want to hear, but you have to remember that you're believing what you want and need. You're believing in them, the thing that you want and need the most. You're not actually believing in the person, because the person that they are cannot be these things. They cannot be what you need. And basically everything that you want and need, they have proven to be the complete opposite. All right. So you have to remember what's been proven in the past, not what they're telling you in the moment when you're being hoovered. You have to use logic you have to have it override your emotions and really talk to yourself about what's happening. That even though it feels one way, you're going to listen to your head. Okay. Because getting sucked back in it's never proves good for anyone. You can see people's stories over and over again about what that's like. Okay. And it throws you way deeper into the trauma bonds and basically feels like starting over. It's kind of awful. So, let's see. Here's a point that is important. Okay. Once you've been hoovered back, okay, once you fall for it, so to speak, once you believe them, once you go back in any way, the mask is off. Okay. Once that mask comes off, they're showing you, when they do start their devaluing again, the truth of who they are. And in that devalue, in that, when the shoe drops, when they flip back to being the darker side, it gets worse and it escalates, because basically when you took them back, you're saying to them in their language, in their minds, that you accept them as they are and that they can do anything they want. They completely turn the tables and take the upper hand every time. Okay. They believe they've won and they use it, and they will escalate all of their horrible behaviors. They will escalate the gaslighting. They'll escalate all of it because they can, right? So this is my public service announcement today. Don't fall for the Hoovers. Do not fall for them. Don't let yourself be damaged by the Hoovers. Okay. Once you're out, and you're away and you're no contact, just stay that way. And I know, so then the question was also about, and anybody who wants to talk can talk too. Anyone who has something to say, I'm just going to ramble on for a little bit, keeping this super short today. I've only got about 10 more minutes and then I have a group to get to. So, yeah, if you have anything you want to say, go ahead and add it in here. What was I going to say? Oh, the getting pulled back in and then ruminating on the trauma. I think what was meant by that was that it reawakens the trauma bonds when you're pulled back in, and a Hoover attempt can even do that, right? Anything that where you have contact. So again, you're coming back to self-care at that point and coming back to really understanding what's going on. I think, the way I've said it here, and there's a lot more that could be said about what a Hoover is and how what it actually is. It's a narcissist trying to get their way. What do they want? What's the main thing they want? Any one of you can answer that of the two of you here. It's supply, right? That's all they want. They want supply. They don't want to be alone. They need, hello, Colleen, supply, yay. Not yay, but they need to be the one. How am I trying to say? They need to be seen. They need to be in the center of attention, right? And without people giving that to them, hello, Shastina, without people giving them the supply, what are they? They're nothing. So that's what the Hoover is. Hello, Mo Cowboy, sweet, delicious, savory, succulent supply. You and your alliterations. You should write an alliteration book of the narcissist's horrible ways. So, yeah. So remember that, like, the mask may seem like it's off. Like, sometimes when you're Hoovered, they will do this pity ploy thing or this thing that looks like vulnerability. It looks like they're understanding your point of view, or like they get what you would have been upset about the whole time. They, not all of them, some of them, will do this. And it's a really tricky one. It's a covert behavior. And, if you've been with one of them, you know what that's like, right? And it's also, it also puts them into victim seat, right? It makes them open and vulnerable to you. So your empathy feeds right into that. You believe, because you have empathy, what they're saying is true. And you, of course, want to give them a chance, let them apologize. You think it's real. That mask, it looks, all of a sudden, what it looks like when you're in it is the mask fell off and you're finally, for the first time, seeing who this person is. And you can almost fall madly in love with this person again, because there they are, exposing their vulnerability and their truth, so to speak, to you, right? But it's not. It's just another mask, you guys. That's all it is. Acting, far superior to Academy Award-winning acting, exactly. It's acting, and I think sometimes they believe it. They believe it because they've known all along what they've been doing, right? And they know the right words to say. And I think that some actually believe it, but the point is that everything else overrides it. And as soon as they get the upper hand by your back, as soon as they have you hooked, it goes away. And that's just proof that they didn't actually believe the remorse they felt. They believe the words they're saying, maybe, but they don't believe in the feeling of remorse that they felt. They can't, or they wouldn't keep doing it. So anyway, when it can feel very confusing. So don't fall into that. It's a big trap. Mo Cowboy says, don't fall for the act. Remember what's behind the mask. Right. And remember that they don't just have one mask. It's multiple masks that they wear. So every piece of their personality, you know how sometimes it seems like they are have separate personalities for separate situations? That's what that is. That's the situation. It's acting, like Mo Cowboy said. It's the perfect setup for that situation. They do whatever character they need to play, and as soon as they get their way, they switch back. So Alicia says, my wife is trying to Hoover pity ploy from rehab. Yep. She's been mailing stuff to my work. Too bad for her. It's not gonna work this time. Yes, too bad for her, and good for you that you are not going to let it work, right? Um, yeah, so I'm going to have to keep it super short. So if anyone has anything else, anything they want to talk about, feel free. Otherwise, I'll just keep rambling about this Hoover topic, and then I will go. Um, let's see. I have a whole lot of stuff I wrote about this. I think I'm just going to stick it in an article instead of sitting here reading to you. Okay, so what happened? Wait, yep. Compartmentalization, such a long word. It is, but I bet you could make some good alliterations with compartmentalization as the main word in the sentence. It allows them to switch from one aspect or personality to the next, even body language and body stance changes. Ew. It is so true. And if you sit and watch it, it is, you don't know who you're with in that moment, right? And but the thing is, it's neither them, none of the personalities are the true person, because it's or not personalities, none of the behaviors are a true personality. That's what I'm trying to say. None of the, it's just an act. It's artificial. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so when once they've shown that side, then the opposite side will come out. Once they've shown the pity victim softer side, so to speak, which can look like, remorse, sadness, all kinds of things. It's like they almost have to save face. Does that make sense? And they flip it back around within however long to control. It's all about control, right? So they have to keep control. So if they stayed in that state, in that place where they're actually communicating, where they're actually seeming like they get it and you can communicate back and it can be kind and loving and tender, if they stayed there, where would the control be? It would be nowhere. Both people would be equal, you see, so they can't. They won't stay there. So don't fall for it. There is no true personality. Exactly. They are an empty world with the aspects of personalities stolen from the broken shard of the people they have destroyed. Yes, I've heard it described as many half-formed personalities in one persona. That they're the reason they can't be alone at all is there's no true self to fall back on, right? There's no true self to actually be alone with. So it's sad, and so yeah, this is my short little thing today. Anybody else? It is creepy. Anybody have anything they want to talk about regarding Hoovers to help people out here? Shastina says, creepy. It is sometimes scary and evil. If you've been healing a while, it becomes funny in a weird way. Obvious too. Weird. We don't recognize it early on. Well, early on, we're riding on hope. And even when you know better, even when you even when your mind is full of all this information, it still feels like there's some truth to this hope. And like I said at the beginning, that we are what you're doing is you're believing in what you want to believe and what you need to believe. You're not actually looking at the true you're not looking at all the information provided to you, right? So it's not your fault. You're trauma bonded and you're getting pulled back in. However, you can use your logic to sort of override the emotion and tell yourself that this is not real. This is so not real. And you don't need to prove it to yourself, because I'm telling you, it happens over and over and over again. You don't need to say, well, mine's different, because they're not. It happens over and over. You just read other people's stories of their Hoovers and you'll see they're almost all the same, right? Hello, Cindy. Last Hoover attempt, my ex said we can at least be friends after all we've been through. Well, there we go. I said, no, it's because of all we've been through that we can't be friends. We're not. It was hard. But you know what? You did it. And you are 100% correct in what you said there. And you said it very diplomatically. it's good. Alicia says, I made a list of all the bad to remind me why I'm not going back. That's perfect. That's perfect, because it is, who said that in the beginning or early on, while we don't recognize it, we do have to do things like that So make a list of all the bad things that you've experienced and understand that it will get worse if you let this person back in. It'll escalate and get worse. Mo Cowboy says, I agree, Shastina. While in trauma bond, neurochemical cocktail, our minds block or dissociate from reality and only see the illusion. Be kind and gentle to yourself. That's right. And we're also, we're filled with the need and feeling. It feels like a need. It's not a need. It's a feeling of resolution and relief from the stress and anxiety. And when the Hoover starts, the stress and anxiety ramps up. And then the only thing that we think can relieve it is the thing that causes it. And if you look at it like that, it makes absolutely no sense, right? You don't go to a knife blade to heal the wound that cut you, right? No, it doesn't make any sense. But we do it because the release of dopamine that happens when we have a moment of a crumb, so to speak, when we have a moment of anything positive from the narcissist or toxic person, the dopamine that's released is a relief. It actually is. However, it's a short-lived, momentary relief. It's not actual relief. The only relief you actually get is healing these trauma bonds and getting away. Okay. Mo Cowboy says, yes, sometimes one touch, it's all it takes. And the trauma bond, bam, all reality gone. It's all it takes. Okay, it's a little bit scary, but you can friendship equals supplies, as Colleen. That's absolutely does, or a voice or an email. That's right. Mo Cowboy says, take time to heal our minds and heal when we make a say. Okay, take times to heal our minds. Sorry, I think there's a comma there, right? Take time to heal. Our minds can heal when we make a safe place. Correct. That's good. Okay, that's good information. Take time to heal. Our minds can heal when we make a safe place. I like that. Making a safe place is what we're talking about. And I think understanding is a lot of it with this, that they will not, I'm rambling, they won't change, you guys. And the Hoover, so ruminating on it, how do you guys work with that? Like if you're ruminating on the Hoovers that keep coming, like maybe it can be a tiny little one and, oh, one of those. It could be a tiny little anything, somehow they get information to you and it makes you think of them. And you start ruminating on the Hoover. Or on the wanting a Hoover even. So what do you guys do for that? That I would say, changing your thought pattern there, that you have to realize that any contact is just going to make it worse. It's again, logic over emotion and, staying completely no contact. Okay. I'm short on time. So anybody have anything else for my quick and brief Hoover live stream? Otherwise, let's see. Mo Cowboy, breathe, mindfulness. Okay, excellent. Mindfulness. Yeah, come back into the moment. There's plenty of mindfulness meditation exercises you can try. That's good. Call a friend. Pester Lise on a wonder-filled coaching live stream. Yes, do something healthy. Change the pattern. That's right, it is a pattern. And that's the thing, is a Hoover is a pattern. A Hoover is nothing more than the love bomb after a devalue. Okay, so you've been in this pattern if you've been with a narcissist since day one. You've been in the love bomb devalue cycle. So the Hoover is nothing more than an extension of that goes beyond the relationship. So break the pattern. You got to change it. It's your life. You get to choose which patterns you follow in it. So create a better pattern. Shastina, I saw it in others, blown away. I never saw it for what it was for me. My mind still has a hard time recognizing toxicity toward me, but I see it in others, no problem. Why is that? Ooh, I like that. Can I, Shastina, can you come on tomorrow and I can talk about that? Because I like that for tomorrow. That's actually a whole topic in itself. Why do I see it in others but not myself? Okay, is that all right? If you can be here tomorrow at 4:30. Yeah, I think that's a great topic for tomorrow. Colleen says, my last Hoover attempt was a week ago after I saw my ex in public and ignored them. Later that day, I received a message of a period, just a period to let me know they're done. Oh my God, drama, such drama. We've been done 2 years, ridiculous and hilarious. I don't even know what to say, Colleen. Maybe an exclamation point, but not sent back, just from me to you. With that, gosh, I'm sorry, Colleen. I got blurry there. It goes to show their childlike mentality. It sure does. Yikes. Okay, I need to head out. Thank you for joining me on the brief Hoover talk today. And tomorrow, let's talk about, let me read Shastina. I know, right? Colleen. Let me read Shastina's quote again for tomorrow. I saw it in others and blown away. I never saw it for what it was for me. My mind still has a hard time recognizing toxicity toward me, but I see it in others. No problem. Why is that? I'll give you a hint. Programming. It's creating a new story for yourself. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow, though. I think that's awesome. It'll be a good one. Okay. Another topic for the future, Mo Cowboy says, coaching episode. Sorry, let me read that properly. Another topic for a future coaching episode, how to allow ourselves to have fun, override the guilt. Yes, that'll be a fun one. Tomorrow, yes, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Central for tomorrow, Tuesday, and we'll talk about that. Okay, thank you guys for joining me so impromptu and so actively. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4:30, 6:30, 4:30 Pacific, 6:30 Central. Take care. Bye-bye. Send in love. You guys take care.